So in this lesson, you're going to learn an important component of loyalty, which is the vibe of your salon and how you make clients fall in love with your vibe. So you're doing a great work with that here at Samot Zoo. So can you just tell us a little bit how you're working with creating that vibe that you have here?
We are 10 hairdressers here now, and we have 12 chairs, and we should not be more than 10. And 10 people is a group that easily can be 2 groups if you don't work with the team. Yeah, and from the beginning I was alone, so you learn by the way. But we have a lot of things written down, and we go it through 2 times per year. And we have the company values. And the company values is about how we treat each other, what type of environment we want to have here, and all that things that makes this a great place. I mean, in life, if you're 10 people, your mother gonna die, and it's gonna happen awful things in life outside the salon. We can be the support, but we can also be the resting place. I want my salon to be somewhere when it's not so good at home, to be somewhere where you can rest mentally by being yourself and creative and so on. And that's our way to do it. And we all have all of that written down in a company value. Everybody that starts here has to read it. And if they don't agree, they are not welcome. If they want to change it, they can't. If they worked here for a year, they can. Because we change it 2 times per year. We read it through together and see if something's going to change. But that's the one that work here. If it doesn't suit you with our company values, this is the wrong place. And there are lots of other hair salons. We also have a lot of other things written down. We call it the come and go list. And we have a lot of lists that we follow to make our environment easier for each and one of us. And this helps a lot. And this gives the vibe in the salon, because we are aiming for something together. And if you don't write it down, it will soon change a little bit, and then you will stand there and look, the salon isn't what I wanted. So you have to write it down. You have to sit down with the staff 2 times a year and go through it. And they think you are ridiculous because we know that this, yeah, but it's important. That's why you keep the vibe, because you keep on talking about it. If it's something we need to change, where are we aiming? And we have certain sheets of that, but the company vibes is the company. That is the most important, I think. And then we have lots of other things that we work with. I mean, if clients walk by here, we have wonderful windows with a park outside. It's a wonderful place. And people are walking by maybe. We don't give a... But if they open the door and go in, we have the 3-second rule. Someone has to be there in 3 seconds from the door closes. Because you know how it feels when you go in somewhere and you stand there, and after 3 seconds you start, after 5 seconds you start thinking, do they notice if I leave? So the 3-second rule of somebody that have made the choice to go in, it's such a big difference, because we will never have a sign on the street that says, you're welcome in. I don't like that. If they choose to come in, they're ours. Then we set our claws in them. They will never leave without knowing who we are, what we do, and they will leave with an appointment. So that's very, very important. And we need to train that. You need to train it. I mean, we train each other to recognize each other clients. So when a client comes in, when the client comes in, we say, oh, hello, welcome. You're good to George, yeah? And they say, yeah. I mean, what happened there? I know that client goes to another hairdresser that's name is George or whatever. And the client will feel, this is my place. When do you feel as much welcome as that? When does it happen nowadays? Not so often. It's a value that's amazing to make people feel extra welcome. So what happens, it doesn't matter if George's 5 minutes late. that client is really happy because she or he got a cup of coffee or espresso or whatever we serve, and they are recognized.
Yeah.
They are remembered. And it's very, very important to work through your values. Write it down and work with it, with yourself or your partners or with your staff all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But that's what gives the vibes. And then we do a lot of other things here at Salon. We do a lot of extra outside. But that is the most absolute value of how, because people are not idiots. They feel it. When they come in here, they often say to us, "Oh, yeah, such a good vibe in here. I love to be here. Can I sit here and work for a while?" And because it's that type of environment that we want to create.
Yeah.
We've written it down, we discuss it, and we also develop it a little bit all the time and work with it. It needs to be worked with. Otherwise, it's going to be someone else's salon.
Yeah.
You have to choose.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Absolutely. And, that's what I'm taking away from this as well. Like, there's certainly tactics and things you can do, like the 3-second rule, when people walk in, like the things like that you can work with, right? To make the vibe right. But it all starts with like understanding what vibe do you want to create and what are your values that you want people to act according to who work in here in order to kind of bring that to life, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the main takeaway, like getting that down on paper is really important. That's the foundation, right? And that is what we work through inside of the branding course available here at Attract. It's really about defining all those elements. So starting with the purpose of the salon, what your salon is about, defining the values, how should you, act according to, each other, all the way to like the character. How should, what music should you play? What should the interior look like? Because all of these things hang together with your brand. And I think all too often we start to approach it from the other side. We start thinking about our interior, or we start thinking about, like how we should do our event or so, where we should really, take a step back first and make sure that we have that down on paper, basically our brand strategy, which includes values and many more elements that we're walking through, inside of that course as well. So yeah, that's the vibe. It's important with the vibe.
Yeah, because it's important not only for the clients, it's important for the staff. It builds ourselves together, and the client feels it.
Yeah.
They feels it.
Yeah.
So that's something that you can't say. It's just in the air.
Yeah.
And it's so important. And it's hard to do, but you can do it.
Yeah. And I think out of all the things we talk in here, like the fact, that your staff is staying on average 10 plus years who work in this salon, like, the loyalty of your client, like the incredible numbers you have there as well. I'm sure the vibe that you're having here is a big part of that. So
yeah, but start with what yourself would like to meet.
Yeah.
And never ever do something less.
Yeah. Good final words. So we'll see you inside of the next lesson.